TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Roddy Piper, memories of Piper, Hot Rod?
Yeah, I do. He came in. Ronnie hit it at the right time. When Vince was really into the talk shows and stuff like that, and he had all this great energy, and he was perfect. They never had anything yet like Piper Pitt. Piper Pitt was the first and the last of his kind, and several times they try to repeat that scenario,
Right.
and so far, nobody have repeat what Piper did.
You got the early on in your career, before Piper came along into the company, you worked Hulk Hogan at MSG.
Right.
What are your memories of working Hulk when he was a heel managed by Blassie?
I gave him his first bump.
Wow.
And it was a press slam. The first bump Hogan took, because back in them days, if you were 300 plus pounds, you didn't have to take a lot of bumps. So when I press slam Hogan, it was pretty much his first bump.
Did you see potential in Hogan, like right away?
No.
You didn't think he was going to be a big star?
Anybody could be a star. What makes a star is the promoter. And at that time, I didn't see him being a big star because I just didn't see the promoter doing anything for him. And the person that take credit for Hulk Hogan is Sylvester Stallone. If Hogan had never made that movie, I don't think he would have been a big star. And that's the bottom line. Because that movie became like fire. It set off the career for Mr. T. And several other people got a great career off of that movie. So Hogan wasn't the only one that sprung off that movie and became a great star. It was just Stallone. Stallone made Hogan.
What about Ken Patera? You got to work with Ken Patera as well.
Right.
Memories of working with Ken?
Yep. Ken was an amazing athlete, and once again, it was just one of them guys that got right to the edge of success, but never really crossed over and became as great as he could have been. A lot of these guys was ahead of their time. They didn't have the markability that they have today to really promote these guys. You take a guy like Ken Patera could hold back a truck, bend steel bars, first man to press 500 pounds over his head, but yet had got no more out of wrestling as somebody that never even saw the Olympics or went to the Olympics. So a lot of these guys you talk about, they was way, way ahead of their time.
They didn't have the machine behind them.
They didn't have the machine to really, really give them the boost that guys got now. Now guys, they don't have to be as big, don't have to be as strong, don't have to be as talented, and they get a lot more out of what they do now.
TitleMatchNetwork.com.
What about Bob Backlund? What are your early memories of Bob?
Bob, I say was a great athlete, but I think he took the business too seriously.
A lot of people say that about him.
He took the business too seriously. He wanted the wrestling to be like college wrestling. But a lot of people don't pay a lot of money to see college wrestling. The difference between pro wrestling and college wrestling, you have to have that entertainment part in the pros. You have to have more than just two sweaty guys rubbing their body up against each other. You have to have a little bit more to offer in the world of pro wrestling. And Bob could never change away from that. He wanted this business to be like the amateur business. And I think he could have did a lot better if he had been more down the middle.
Right.
Not so much to the left, not too much to the right, but in the center a little bit on that. I like his idea, because Bob was a real regular guy. He worked very hard for what he had, and then he have to go in the ring and work with guys that couldn't carry his bag and make them look like they could.
Right.
So that have to work a lot on his ego.
What about Greg Valentine around this time period?
Valentine did a very, very good job of almost filling his father's shoes. If Valentine was 6'4" or 6'5", he would be a splendid image of his father. The only thing that kept him from filling his father's shoes was his height. His father was so tall and so impressive. And they look alike and they work alike. And they got the same mentality and the same psychology for wrestling. But what really took away from making Greg as great as Johnny was the height. Greg is only about 6 feet tall, whereas Johnny was about 6'5", and he just towered over his opponent, which made him equally more and more impressive than what he were.
Talking about big guys, Andre the Giant. What are your memories of Andre?
Andre bought a car one time because the officer wanted to be independent. So he went out and bought him a Lincoln Town car with a moon roof. And he got in the car, stuck his head through the top of the moon roof, and he's driving down the road. You ever see the cars in the circle with the clown?
Yeah.
And the head is sticking out the roof? That's what Andre did.
That's awesome.
He had his head sticking out the roof, had his big woolly hair blown in the wind. So this guy pulled up beside him. He thought it was a mannequin or something.
Sure.
So he kept looking and kept looking. And finally, Andre turned and looked at the guy, scared the guy halfway to death. So the guy swiped Andre's new car. So Andre chased the guy down the highway. The guy finally pulled over. Andre got out the car to go get him. The guy locked the door. Andre flipped the car over.
Jesus.
Mulligan and them one night tried to throw him down, a bunch of big guys. And he was just throwing them guys around like this. Andre was the type of guy, he controlled everything that happened in that ring. Everything that happened in the ring. And I don't think there had been anybody in this business, and probably never will, that would compare to Andre the Giant. He was one of a kind. You know, he had 62 teeth in the top row. Just the top row, not counting the bottom. He had over 100 teeth in his mouth. Andre was a missing link between them and us now. And he was the thing that scared him most about him dying is every scientist in the world wanted his body to study. Because he wasn't just a big guy. It was something different about Andre that no other guy. I mean, you look at pictures of him, you never seen nobody like that.
Sure.
Yeah. The Big Show, none of them guys, not nothing like that.
What about Don Morocco?
Oh, that's my buddy. Don Morocco, easygoing guy, nice guy, strong, very rugged. I remember one night when I first started the business, Morocco had just started, and some guys were picking on Morocco, and Mr. Fuji, the one that brought him in. So what Fuji did, he driving one night, Morocco is telling them the story. So Fuji saw a dead dog on the side of the road. So what Fuji did, he took the dog and wrapped it in a towel, and he took it home. The next day, Fuji invited all the guys over that was picking on Morocco. And what he did, he cooked the dog and fed it to them wrestlers that was picking on it. So Fuji come out, and that's the guy, oh, how you like the barbecue? Oh, very good, Mr. Fuji. Very good, Mr. Fuji. What about the beer? You want more beer? About that? Oh, I have enough beer, Mr. Fuji. Thank you, Mr. Fuji. The barbecue was good, huh? You like my barbecue? Oh, I love your barbecue, Mr. Fuji. He pulled out the dog head and said, so, you like roadkill?
Oh, I heard that story. Mr.
It's
Fuji,
true.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a true story.
We did an interview with Mr. Fuji. He actually told us about it.
It's a true story.
Wow.
A true story.
What about Jimmy Snuka? Early memories of Jimmy?
I think Jimmy could have went a lot further in the business than what he did.
Do you think because of drugs? Or
I don't want to say that was it, but I really do think that he could have went a whole lot further in the business than where they took him, because he came back in 1991. If you look at pictures, he was the best developed man in the WWE of 1991, and they still didn't go with him. At that time, there was a lot of wrestlers using drugs that still went to the top. I just feel that they could have gave Snuka, they could have done a lot more with him. I think if Vince Jr. had the mindset he had now, I think he would have took Snuka to the limit. I don't think they gave him all he deserved.